Hi everyone, my name is Matt Winnick, and today I'll be talking to you about understanding myself and dealing with loneliness. Loneliness is a common feeling that everybody has, including me, because of different factors. Like society can change any time, the world can be confusing to understand, and many of us are trying to navigate things. I was born with autism, including a learning disability, along with a cognitive disability. It is a challenge for me in the past, including currently. I have dealt with the challenges of having this where it affects me on a daily basis or affects me all the time in social settings, social media, and other settings. When it comes to trying to understand about myself with this disability, I realize that I struggle to comprehend on learning different advanced subjects at a certain pace. Sometimes I struggle to figure out how to communicate my thoughts in different settings or even on social media platforms or understand social cues. And I struggle to figure out how to organize my thoughts. Another thing to add is that I struggle with myself with it is I get teased and bullied and being put down by many friends, people who I know, and people in general for having a disability. How I struggle to understand how to fit in with other people, how to understand myself. When it comes to loneliness, I've always struggled with this ever since I was young and currently. I have tried to do social groups when I was in school or in my current adult life. I have tried to make new friends, to even maintain them, and to develop better connections with people, but these things haven't worked right. There are times where many people get mean at me or even get aggressive at me for simply just struggling with my disability, or even just trying to understand how to be a human being, or if I simply just am trying to understand how to navigate or to understand how to do a certain task. I have worked in the food service industry for about 11 years, including currently, where it requires a lot of fast paced work, trying to work with other people as a team to get a task done, and trying to be creative on how to figure out how to do a task efficiently. It isn't easy because I get put down by some coworkers about struggling with a disability, how sometimes it's hard for me to multitask in a food service industry where it's a fast paced environment, or to figure out how I can best understand how to do a task in different ways. When it comes to working in the food industry, there are some coworkers who use foul language or vulgar language, like calling me a retard or even saying other hurtful things. It is hard to be comfortable in the food service industry when I deal with them getting mean at me. Sometimes, when I'm on the job, I have to hold back my tears. How do I react to other coworkers who want to use vulgar or other harmful words to me? I have to keep my head down and try to do what I can. I myself am a Christian, a very proud Christian, where I've always valued on how to understand Jesus Christ's work, along with his messages or his principles. It is not easy for me to be open about being religious because too many times, many people who are very heavily religious use it as a tool of hate or as a way to push for hateful policies against anyone who's different, especially people with disabilities. I have dealt with this hardship of being a Christian with a disability due to people using religion as a way to say mean things about people with disabilities, or when they try to promote hate against them, or even try to use hateful words against me, like when they tell me that people with disabilities don't deserve equal rights and that they deserve to be punished. It makes me sad seeing people use hate instead of being understanding, compassionate, kindness, and even trying to think of what does Jesus want the world to be. Social media platforms has become more of a problem in the past through currently because many people use social media as a way to promote bullying or even to put me down for having a disability, or to even put me down for trying to be a human being, or just trying to understand how the world works, or how to be creative through messaging. There are times where I feel sad when I'm on social media platforms with many people who know me or who I have connected with aren't appreciative of me for even just trying my best to understand how the world works. Being creative, trying to be kind to other people, despite being hard for me. Also, it is hard when people on social media platforms tell me that just because they get more likes or comments or even have more friends, they are better than me. And I am not perfect for people. Volunteering is never easy because sometimes I get easily judged harshly by other volunteers when I struggle to figure out how to do a task efficiently or try to figure out how to understand a situation better in the past and currently. For about 5 years and currently, I have continued to volunteer with a small community group in my hometown, downtown Ann Arbor, Michigan, where we work on helping feed homeless people or people who are low income that simply just can't afford food to get grocery bags or other essential items. There are times where it's hard to accommodate everybody, or sometimes it is hard for me to perform other tasks there. Sometimes I deal with some volunteers where they tell me that I am not perfect and that I'm simply a bad person when I struggle. Friendships have become much harder and even harder from the past through currently. I've always struggled on maintaining and connecting, making new friends because I get put down for struggling to understand social cues, for simply just because I'm struggling on trying to understand how to navigate life. I'm simply just trying to be a good friend that everybody, including people, want me to be, or even when I can't meet their standards too. There are times where some of my friends that I have connected with or have met new people where they talk bad about me. They make fun of me for having a disability. They make jokes about how they think it would be funny if I wasn't alive or if I had taken my own life. I live with guilt sometimes and figure out, am I a bad person for failing to connect with people or even if I'm just trying to be a good friend? If I can't meet the standards or if I struggle with social skills where it's hard for me to understand others people's personalities or their behavior. Public places and even going to the gym can be hard for me too. There are times when people get aggressive at me, sometimes if the environment is hard to control in public places. For example, if the cash register is not working at a store or at a local post office, other people get physically mad at me and sometimes call me a retard or even get aggressive at me. In the gym, it can be hard to go because there are members of the gym where they get fitnessly aggressive at me, or even they get mean at me if I struggle exercising or if I'm slower than other people at doing a workout. For example, one time I was at a gym and I was doing a walk on a treadmill as an exercise. There was a woman who was making fun of me for being a slowpoke. She spat in my face. Then she had tried to encourage me to call her bad names or to even get aggressive at her. I walked away from the situation with tears. I had to hide in the locker room to try to calm myself down and to tell myself I am simply just trying to be a person who wants to do a good workout and not cause any drama. There are times where people question my sexual orientation. Sometimes they make jokes about me in a sexual harassment way, and it hits me hard too. I myself am straight and I have an interest in girls, but I just don't feel comfortable on having conversations or even wanting to be friends with girls because I get bullied by them. It is hard when some girls and some women bully me about struggling on social cues, or if even if I'm just simply just trying to be creative or a kind person, or if I might not meet their standards. Sometimes they use foul language on me and make mean jokes about how they don't think a person that have a disability like me deserves to have a girl as a friend or even as a connection or even as a relationship. Many times I have incurrently dealt where some girls, including some women, like to badmouth about me in public places, including on social media. I don't feel safe when this happens because it changes people around me. Many people start judging me when a girl says something bad about me. I have to keep my head down. I have to tell myself that I'm just trying to understand how to navigate these situations or to understand people better. I never talk about what my ethnicity is because I get judged harshly by in my own community and by other people. I am an Asian American with a disability, and it's a challenge. I have tried to join social groups that have Asian Americans, or just being friends with them. However, it didn't work right because there were times when many of them tell me, "You don't look like you're an Asian American. You're not really an Asian or an Asian American because you are not smart in math or in science." And many of them tell me just because I struggle with my disability or with social cues is that I'm not really an Asian American. It's hard being this type of person with a disability in the Asian American community because I get teased, even bullied, even put down by many of them, including some Asian girls too. Another reason why I feel loneliness is because there is too much anti disability stigma that is being presented by our current leader of our country or public officials, sometimes in the news media, sometimes in entertainment TV shows, and people in general who like to use stereotype people with disabilities or even people with autism spectrum as bad people. I have noticed that when people see these things or hear them, it changes them to start believing that people with disabilities like me are bad and not perfect for society. Almost on an everyday basis, when I come home, or even when I'm in my room, or even taking a shower, I cry with tears because I deal with the harshness of what the world has become and what I have to deal with on a regular basis of people being mean at me. Sometimes before I go to bed or even to take a nap during the day, I have to pace around so many times trying to calm myself down. I have to tell myself that I'm that every day is a new day. How do I understand myself with a disability? Why am I struggling when other people can have friends, or when people can be kind to other people, or be appreciative of other people, but they cannot be appreciative of me? There are times where I have hardships of getting enough sleep because I deal with nightmares of people getting mad at me and having to deal with the trauma of being using harshness, or even being a victim of being bullied in the past, including currently in life, along with social media platforms. I realize that I cannot do well with friends, or if people don't want to appreciate me as a human being, for trying my best. I spend time talking to my computer to record my speeches, my thoughts, and have it play back to me as a way to act like it's having a conversation with me, to help me organize my thoughts, to even process my thinking, and to help me improve my speech. I do this on a daily basis as a way to try to help me understand my thoughts, how to process information when it's hard for me to talk to people, or it's even hard for me to understand. When it comes to analyze myself on a daily basis, or even a monthly basis, or a yearly basis, I always take the time to try to review myself. I think to myself, what type of person do I want to be? How do I understand myself when the world is mean, when there are environmental factors that I cannot control? How do I deal where people get mean at me for having a disability? How do I feel safe being in society? How should I change myself? When it comes to thinking to myself of what does it mean to be a human being, My answer is different from everybody's, and that it might not be the same as everybody when it comes to my thinking of what does it mean to be a human being. I take the time to say that as a human being, I want to be kind to other people. I want to see good in people when when they struggle with challenges or even when they're just trying to be creative. I want to continue to use critical thinking as to my advantage to learn things or to even develop or expand on knowledge. I know this sounds like what it means for me to be a human being, but in society that I live in, too many people reject this. I keep asking myself, should I have to sacrifice what it means to be a human being with these principles in order to do well in society? Or should I be mean to other people just to be popular or to fit in? I tell myself I will not sacrifice my principles of what does it mean to be a human being. I'll continue what I had previously mentioned in my sentence because I'm a person that wants to see a world a better place. I want people to understand me as a person with a disability who wants to see kindness, compassion, use critical thinking, and being creative instead of the opposite. When it comes to trying to understand my ethnicity better, I have to hide it who I am these days. I have to hide my ethnicity of myself as an Asian American with a disability from other people. All I can tell people is that I am mixed, and that's it. I have to celebrate by myself of my Asian American heritage, where I can enjoy eating some Asian food, learn about the culture and history on my own through documentaries or watching videos, and being creative on watching Asian dramas, including Korean dramas too. My philosophy as an Asian American with a disability is to figure out what is my meaning of an Asian American community means to society. I think very philosophically about this because many times other people in the community might not agree with me on this. Here is the best thing that I can think of as an Asian American. I believe that Asians, including Asian American communities, should recognize many of them who are coming from a different background or with a different skill or is different creativity or with a disability because all of these can make a world a better place. It can help make society a better place with diverse backgrounds. I also believe that Asian American community and society should be appreciative of people with disabilities who are just simply just trying their best to navigate society when it's hard to understand. In social media platforms, it's never easy navigating it because I continue to get bullied and being put down for being different or having a disability. I have to think long and hard about what type of person do I want to be on social media. It isn't easy to think of this because many people, including social media influencers, have different ways of thinking of this thought. The best thing that I can think of what I want social media to be, or what type of person should I be to navigate these platforms, is simply just trying to be kind to other people. Be creative on na- how to address and understanding the world when it's hard. Sending good thoughts, including positive vibes to people whenever they make achievements or having a hard time, and many others. Doing these approaches is never easy. It gets rejected by many people, including people that follow me or that I'm connected with me on these platforms. The only thing that I can do on these platforms is to give myself a balance of a break and reduce how much I scroll on these platforms. Take my time to figure out how to post something on these platforms as a way to protect myself without losing my accounts or to help me from feeling sadness when people aren't appreciative of me or when they get mean at me. As a Christian myself, I have to remind myself that Jesus Christ wants me to continue to be kind to other people, be supportive of the ideas of social justice, including universal health care, to help people who are disadvantaged or have a disability. and not to use religion as a tool of hate. It is hard to do this all the time in society because many people want to use it for the wrong reasons. All I can do is to tell myself I just want to be a Christian with good principles, and I want to follow what Jesus and other religious figures like Muhammad, Moses, and Buddha will want to use religion for good. How I handle on dealing with loneliness as a Christian is I spend time praying for the world to be a better place, wanting to give myself the time to volunteer to help people who are disadvantaged, even though other volunteers might not be appreciative of me, and listen to gospel music as a way to heal myself when I have hard times. As a worker in the food service industry, I have to tell myself that all I can do is try to be kind to other coworkers and try to be creative at how to learn how to do a task efficiently while using critical thinking, even if people or other coworkers aren't appreciative of me for trying my best to work, or even if they get mad at me. In society, when people aren't appreciative of me for simply just trying to be a human being who wants to see good, I spend time writing letters to influential people that advocate for good policies, including people with disability rights, where I try to thank them for inspiring me as a way to heal myself, to try to tell myself that I have to continue to see good in people, despite the world being broken. I spend time looking up influential people or people that are very creative on YouTube platforms as a way to help give me comfort or to even understand the world or even to give me motivation on how to be creative. I do distract myself when it comes to loneliness as I watch TV shows, including movies, and sometimes play video games, but I spend more time with my toys. I spend time with my toys as a way to help give me comfort when people are mean to me or when I can't do well with friends. I play with them as a way to try to make it like if I had my own friends and how they would react or what they would like me to say. Being a good friend is never easy for me because I fail too many times. Friendships disappear fast. People get mean at me because I struggle with trying to be a good friend with a disability, and it's hard to maintain them or even connect with. I sit down to myself to think about what does it mean to be a good friend. When it comes to being a good friend or a good person, all I can do is to tell myself that being a good friend is someone who is compassionate, including kind to other people, or even people that they know who are struggling, trying to be creative, and how they are supportive for them when they have hard times, and even if you want to be a good listener. It's hard to say this because many people, including some of my friends, don't like this idea or are unappreciative of me for trying my best, or if they don't want to listen to me as a person. In these days with loneliness, when I can't do well with friends, or even when I try to be a good friend, the best thing that I can do is to do self care. Try to tell myself that I'm just a human being who wants to do good, and that it's okay if I struggle with myself or if my disability affects me. When it comes to into public places, I have to be extremely careful about how I react or how to interact with people. All I can do is small talk, but also try to be extra mindful of other people around me if it gets too crowded or if there are situations where I cannot control. When it comes to even exercising or going to the gym, all I can do is be creative at doing different workouts, be mindful of other people around me when I'm working out, or trying to do other short workouts, or even go for a walk outside as a way to stay in shape while help protect myself from people getting fitness aggressive at me. When it comes to girls or women in general, all I can basically do is just think of good thoughts or positive vibes to them when they are struggling or when they're just trying to make good achievements in life and try to be a good listener. It's not easy doing this because I get rejected a lot, and girls make fun of me for even just trying to be a kind person when I struggle with social cues or with my disability. It hits me hard, but all I can do is to tell myself that I am still a human being who's trying to learn, trying to be kind to other people. On my own time of dealing with loneliness, I do research about different topics on the computer or through YouTube or even documentaries to understand about what the world is or the issues that we face or simply how to do a simple task. It is hard for me to be open about dealing with loneliness or how to understand myself because many people judge me the wrong way. People tell me I'm antisocial. They express I'm a negative person. And why do you got to be a Debbie Downer? All I can do is tell myself that everybody deals with loneliness or understanding who they are, including me. Life, navigating society, and social media is a challenge for everyone, including myself with a disability. It is hard to understand how to navigate a world where is people who are mean or use hate at me for being different, or people use the anti-disability stigma to make it harder for me to feel comfortable in society. It is hard to try to figure out how do I understand myself at dealing with loneliness. Am I a bad person, even if I'm struggling with it? I work on trying to understand myself or how do I best navigate different situations, but many times it is hard to find permanent solutions to challenges, and it might not work. The best thing that I can do is temporary solutions. Try to be creative at doing different coping strategies. Do critical thinking and doing self reflection. There are times where I feel like I can't really have friends or I don't do well with people because people get mad at me for simply just struggling or just because I'm different or simply I'm just trying to be a kind person even though I struggle with my disability. I have to spend time trying to be creative on how to understand loneliness without sacrificing the common sense principles of what does it mean to be a human being who wants to have good principles, and even how to be creative at doing different things to help give me comfort when the world or when people get mean at me. I know that this is the longest speech talking about my dealing of loneliness along with understanding myself, and it could be complicated or that it was simply just too much words going around. I tried my best as I could to be simple, to organize this, to try to present the best as I could, to try to tell people in the world that you need to understand that people who deal with loneliness like myself or someone deals with challenges of having a disability in a world where it is mean, they aren't bad people. They're just simply just trying to figure out how to understand themselves to be better. How do we move forward in a society where it relies on using hate or bigotry, or how social media platforms are making it harder for people to feel confident, or to even share the creative content, or even to connect with others, and even for people who just simply just want to find good people in life, or even meet new people that inspire them. I hope that everybody is able to relate to this speech that I have worked on for a long time. I know it wasn't easy to understand, but please take the time to listen to it, to think to yourself, and just simply just have the developed decency of being a human being with kindness, understanding, compassion, critical thinking, and wanting to care for other people when they struggle in life or with a disability or when they're just simply just trying to be a good person when the world is broken. Thank you.